Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to grow your Instagram following. I grew mine about 30,000 followers in 6 months, and it was all natural and organic, just like a granola bar. No, I'm just kidding. It was completely organic. I didn't pay for a single follower, and I hope you guys never do. And yeah, I'm going to teach you guys the methods that I used. I should say before I start this video, I do not have hundreds and thousands of followers. I'm just saying I built my following 4 times from what it was in just a matter of months. I know that there are tons of girls out there who have way more followers than I do, and all the power to them. But this is not for you to get 100,000 followers in like a week. This is for you to learn how to slowly build your feed, slowly build your Instagram account to make it look beautiful, curated, and to get you authentic, real, and engaged followers. When I first started my fitness account, that was in 2013, and I had maybe like 4,000 followers at the time. Instagram was a completely different animal back then, like just the way commenting was, there was no algorithm. It was just photos, sharing, and commenting. So back then, when I was trying to grow my following, I spent ages commenting on people's photos. I would find hashtags that people use that were similar to what I was using, so like FitFam or InstaFit, and I would just leave a nice comment, and that was it. I would do that almost every day for about 15-20 minutes until Instagram told me I couldn't comment anymore. That was back then. Things have changed now. With Instagram's new algorithms, you cannot just comment on people's photos because it'll get hidden in all the other ones. You really can't even see comments at all. They're mostly hidden. So that's just something I would not recommend. But that's how I started growing my following to begin with. So now I'm sitting close to 45,000 followers, and that happened in the last 6 to 8 months. And these are the tricks or tips or methods, whatever. This is what I use to get myself there. So the first thing I started doing to make my feed look better and to grow my following was to have a good curated feed where everything looked the same. Prior to that, I was just taking photos and using whatever filter made me look best. And that kind of just gave like a mismatch of photos in my feed. Nothing really flowed well. So instead, I started using the exact same filter every time on the VSCO app. I would use the same settings for all my videos, use the same Instagram filter for those, and slowly my feed started to look a bit more curated, a little bit more put together, rather than just a bunch of random photos, different filters, different colors. In addition to that, I would also use the VSCO grid to see how each photo aligned with the photo beside it. So before I would post anything, I would put it in the grid just to see how it would look. These days, VSCO has changed their app, so you don't really have that beautiful grid, but now I use an app called Unum, which really shows how all your Instagram photos will flow with each other, and you could just play around with it and put a new photo in, see how that would look with the rest of your feed, etc. That was really helpful because it really allowed me to preview what I would post before I actually posted it, just to make sure everything flowed together. The second tip, where this one was a little bit kind of just luck. I posted a before and after photo of my bum, so that's something that the Instagram community seems to love, especially the fitness community, before and after photos and butt shots. Luckily, I just posted both in the same photo, and that photo kind of went Instagram viral. I think it landed on their popular page, and from there I got several hundred, maybe even a couple thousand followers from that. But that one, it was just kind of lucky for me, but if you know the fitness community, they love before and after photos, so that's something that you could try as well for yourself. Tip number 3, I started filming everything in natural light. Prior to this, I would just film whenever I could, in crappy gym lighting, when it was dark outside, when it was raining. I would just film and I didn't care. I decided to start filming everything in natural light because the better the light was, the better the video looked. and videos already come up a little bit blurrier on Instagram, so you want to put it in the best lighting as possible. So to do that, I would go to the gym early. I would get there like rush after work to get there when the light was still out. I would come on weekends just to film. I would bring a couple outfit changes so that I could film while I had all the daylight and all the sunlight. So that was another trick that I would use to make sure that everything in my feed was looking beautiful, sunny, bright, and colorful. Tip number 5, I think. When you're posting photos, that's pretty easy to do because obviously you pick the one that makes you look best, or whatever you took a photo of is the best photo. But when it's videos, it's a little bit more difficult, especially for a workout video, because you're moving around, you're exercising, and sometimes it's hard to get that perfect cover shot because it's always a little bit blurry. So what I started doing was making sure when I was setting up the video or setting up the exercise, I would slow down a little bit just to make sure that I could get a good screenshot in, so I could set that as my thumbnail instead of just having all these lovely photos perfectly curated and then getting it messed up by like a blurry video shot. That wouldn't happen. I just made a bigger effort to actually make sure that I would get a good cover photo in rather than just focusing only on the video. All right, tip number 6. I used to use hashtags a lot when I'd post photos, not like a ton of them, but I'd use like about 8 to 10 of them. And I don't think they really ever did much for me. And then one day I decided to try putting my hashtags in the caption of the video rather than how I used to do it in the comments. That seemed to work really well. It got the attention of a lot of really big fitness video accounts. It got on, again, the popular page. So I actually don't know if that makes a big difference putting the hashtags in the caption or in the comments, but after that one time I did it and did really well, I've continued to do it ever since. I will post all the hashtags that I use in the description below, and you guys, if you are making fitness videos, you can use those as well. Tip number 7. I used to post a lot of videos of myself working out outdoors, doing HIIT circuits, doing sprints, and I kind of found that they weren't doing as well as I wanted. So I did a little research just on Instagram to see what was popular. People really seem to like videos of gym workouts, anything that would build the glutes, anything that would work on your core, anything that was using barbells or weights. So I started focusing my efforts on filming gym workouts rather than working out outside. It did mean that I would have to bring my tripod to the gym and would have to start filming even though there's people around, but slowly I just got used to it. After you've done it 20 times, people start to realize that you're just the girl with the tripod that films herself all the time. If you aren't doing a fitness account, maybe you have a food account or just a health and wellness account or a fashion, see what's popular or what's trending in Instagram right now. Those photos really seem to make it onto the popular page because that's what people like to see. People might not be interested in smoothie bowls as much as they used to be, but now they're super interested in massive sandwiches. So just see what is trending and see how that applies to your feed. All right, tip number 8. Another thing people love to see or hear, getting to know you and getting to know your own voice. When I started my Instagram account, I was very cookie cutter. I was very boring. I kind of sounded like a robot. I was like, this is your workout. You will do X amount of reps for I don't even care. It was boring. So slowly over time, as I became more confident in my feed, I found my own voice within Instagram. I started writing captions in the way I would say it or the way I would talk to a friend. I'm pretty goofy. I'm pretty silly. I like make jokes that aren't funny, but I think are hilarious. So I would say find your own voice for each of your photos. Don't try to sound like somebody else or see what somebody else has posted and copy that. Stay true to you. Stay true to yourself for your Instagram captions, and it will pay off. All right, we're almost done, guys. I don't even know what tip I'm on anymore because I just feel like I've been talking and it's starting to rain outside. I gotta wrap this up. Okay, so something else that I think is really important to creating a good community and building a good following that likes you and wants to interact with you is making sure that you reply to the comments that people leave for you. Sometimes I'm even bad about this. I won't reply to comments till like 4 days later. I feel like it's very ungrateful of me to do that, so I always kind of scold myself internally for when I do that, but people like it when you interact with them. By doing that, you create a really good community, which gives you more engagement. People will like your photos, comment. It's just, I think it's a good habit to get into. Finally, this is kind of the last tip. Something that was really important for me was making sure that I had no spammy accounts that followed me. When you have spammy accounts that follow you, that just increases your following, but they don't engage with you, they don't like photos, they don't comment on anything, so your engagement goes down. Every time I would get a new follower, which is sometimes hard to do, I would randomly click through them just to make sure that none of them seem like spam. If I found a follower that were following more than 4,000 people, I would automatically block them, because I think if you're following 4,000 people on Instagram, you're not interacting with any of them, and it just gives me kind of a bleh feeling, and I don't want to be part of it, so I just block them. One time I had somebody like bought me followers, and I remember opening my account and I had like 400 new followers, or like 800, and I spent that entire morning at work blocking all of them. Yes, I did not do any work that morning, and I spent all morning blocking 800 spam accounts. That was a good use of my time. Instagram has made a big effort to really push the people who are growing their feeds and accounts organically and naturally, and they like it when people have good engagement. So if you have any spam accounts that are following you, or if you're thinking about buying followers, I would just get that idea out of your mind, because you don't want to have to be dealing with that kind of thing later down the road when Instagram decides to do a purge and you lose 10,000 followers. All right, you guys, now you know all my tips and tricks and secrets for growing my Instagram account. I realized that this was super catered towards fitness accounts and workout videos, but you could definitely still take some of those aspects that I used and translate into your own Instagram account, whether you're food or fashion. The biggest tips that I can say would be to always be shooting in natural light, have your own voice, write your own captions, engage with your followers, create a good community of people that you like to interact with and who like to interact with you, and try to have a consistent feed, use the same filters, find one that works for you. I now can proudly say that I have a following of 80% of women and 20% men. I am super happy and proud about, because now I know it's actually people who want to engage with me and look at my stuff rather than a bunch of dudes just sitting at home watching me work out in a sports bra. So that is a win for Chang. If you guys like this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you could take some of these tips along with you. And thanks so much for watching.